Says I'm on, but I'm not certain if I'm on or not. I guess I'm on, I don't know. Connect streaming software, I did. I did. Is there anything out there? Maybe. Okay. It says no ATM found. How is that possible? That's right there. Network time protocol. Okay, storage, UTC, save. Alright, so how do I do live stream? Jesus, Pete, why is everything so complex for you? Media, audio, multiplayer sources, hyperdeck, remote. Maybe it just doesn't start till 8 o'clock. Output. Well, it says I'm on air.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, you're on now.
Oh, am I on?
Yeah.
You can hear me? Okay, am I too loud or anything? There's like a 30-second delay, I think.
One of your people watching says yes, you're on.
Hey, cool, thank you. Oh, hey, TRG, how's it going? Thanks for watching. Thank you so much. Let's see here. So we are here. Hey there, everybody. TRG, thanks for stopping by. And feel free to chat here. While we're waiting, I'm going to show you my stock video and photo and sound effects page on Pond 5. I sell stock video and photo on Pond 5. See some of my videos here, one of my alien videos. So this is one of my best sellers here, this alien right here. Here's an alien autopsy. And stock photography can be used and video can be used, you know, building a website. If you need extra B-roll footage for making a video or a documentary. Typewriter, vintage typewriter. I've got 134 videos, 61 photos, 24 sound effects, and 3 music tracks. This is a really beautiful model I worked with a few years ago on her dog. And I just have a bunch of things on here that are different videos. The videos really sell really well. Exciting stuff. I'm sure you're all thrilled. But no, really, if you're building a website, if you're making a movie, you can use a lot of these things for B-roll footage where you need to cut away, things like that. This is a scene I shot in North Carolina when we rented a condo. And it's just an ocean scene through a window. Here's my dog Eli, my beautiful boy Eli. I woke him up when he's sleeping on the floor for this, just to, he opened his eyes. He was so photogenic. He was just a beautiful boy. I just couldn't have asked for a nicer dog. I never had a boy dog before. All the other dogs that we had and I'd had were girls, and Eli was just the nicest boy to ever have. I couldn't have a better dog. Him and my dog Zoe. This is with my Zontarski mask. This, I filmed this in my garage. I kind of turned the whole house into a studio. What else do I have? It's a bit of a trick photography here. I had 3 alien heads. I filmed myself 3 times in this one. This is another good seller. I love that one. So go to Pond 5, look for P.I. Tompkins. There's a link to my stock video in the remarks or in the comments in the description of all my videos. You know what I'm not showing you? I forgot to show you, dudes. I forgot to hit the button and switch over, see? I need me an engineer. Sorry about that, everybody. So again, this is my stock photography and stock video portfolio. This is my dog Eli. I woke him up one day. He's laying on the floor and I had my camera stuck in front of his face. You can probably see me in his right eye there. You can see me there with my camera. He was such a patient and a good boy. And I'll show you my my aliens. I have so much fun with that mask. It is so much fun to have it. This is the 3 aliens I was telling you about. This is a good seller. Big seller. And again, you can use these for, you know, if you're making a documentary about aliens or you have a channel about aliens or whatever it happens to be. I need more than aliens. A lot of people create their aliens in software packages. I am the alien. Peter is the alien. Let's see here. Where is my profile here? We'll go back here, Skating Bear Studios. Actually, I'm under Skating Bear Studios. It's not under P.I. Tompkins, it's Skating Bear Studios. So this is just a bunch of my videos. This is when I used to be able to fly my drone. I had a Phantom 4, or I think it was Phantom 4 drone. This is a lighthouse up at Menor Headlands State Park on Lake Erie. And you can't fly the Phantom anymore. I think they've been banned. So there you have it. All right, let's get back to business here. Look back over here. What do we got here now? We got, I'm sorry guys, my eyes are so bad, man. Can't see, I can't read anybody's thing. Maybe I gotta, can I pop this out? Hey there, Camrose Media. Oh, Camrose Media. I'm getting new to this chat thing. Usually I'm chatting with all of you in my car, but I decided to stop doing that. And I thought we would just chat about whatever tonight. I don't know if any of you are football fans. You know, I'm not really a huge NFL fan anymore. I'm really not a Cleveland Browns fan anymore. They're just so awful. It's more than just the team. It's the front office. The front office, the whole, yeah, the whole. I better have a drink here. Oh, make sure the lid is on so I don't spill it all over myself. The whole organization is a mess. Let's see, can I pull this out? Can I pop this out? Pop out chat. All right, popped it out. There we go. I'm learning. I learned quick. But the whole Cleveland Browns team is just a dumpster fire. It's a mess. And I swear, see, Jimmy Haslam, what used to be a partial owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are our rival, and they've been our rival for like 50 years. And back in the day, in the 70s and the 80s, the Steelers and the Browns would have these knockdown, drag out, bloody battles. And it was this huge rivalry and people getting fights in the parking lot. It was this massive, bloody battle. And they were our huge rival. And then Jimmy Haslam, I guess, he sold his ownership in the Steelers and came over here and bought the Browns. And it's my conspiracy theory that Haslam came here to destroy the Browns, because he's done nothing since he's come here but destroy the Browns. He recruited Deshaun Watson from the Texans or something like that. And Deshaun is just a mess. He's a mess of a human being. And he's only played like 8 games for us, and he's paying him like $500 million or something, some god-awful amount of money. And he makes all these really ridiculous choices with this guy named Barry, the general manager. And so I don't know. So football here is pretty bad in Cleveland. So when we moved away from Cleveland, Meg and I moved to Phoenix. We started watching the Phoenix Cardinals, and that's when God, I can't think of the quarterback's name now. Warren? I can't think of his name. He took them to the Super Bowl. They lost in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. I think the Cardinals are NFC. Yeah, they're NFC. But anyway, we started watching the really good teams. The Cardinals were good. The Packers were good. They had Brett Favre and then Aaron Rodgers. And then we watched the Patriots with Tom Brady, and we watched the Colts with Peyton Manning. And we watched the Giants with Eli Manning. Actually, my dog Eli was named after Eli Manning. And when you start to watch really good football teams and how well they play, how big their offensive linemen are, how coordinated they are when they block for the run or for the pass, and you see how well they're coached, and then you watch the Browns, it's like going from watching, a great team down to watching like a bad Pee Wee football team or something like that. So we Meg and I, every year for ever since we've been back in Cleveland, we get so upset about the Browns that we vow we're never going to watch them again. So we watched the first game this year, which was against, I think, the Bungholes, the Cincinnati Bungholes. And they were so bad against the Bungholes, we said we weren't going to watch them anymore. So last weekend, we didn't watch them. We went out, we went shopping, we did other things. And it was so nice not to be frustrated and upset and mad at these ridiculous people on the team. And it really is nice not to watch them. They're terrible to watch. But here in Cleveland, most of our teams, other than the Cavs are the only one to win a championship since like 1964. They're the first team since '64, the '64 Browns, to win a championship, and that was really nice. It was really awesome to see LeBron come back and make up for the first time he left, going to Miami, and that was a lot of fun. So let me see here. I'm going to close this. See what we got down here. What's this say? This message is held for review. Let's see here. What's this say? Oh, yeah. I'll show that. Yes. Somebody told you to suck it today, huh? That's hilarious. Yeah, they'll say all kinds of things to you on the phones. I'm doing a video today about a company called Live Ops, and I'll be posting it tomorrow. Once we're done here tonight, I'll go finish editing it. And it's a company, here, I'll show you here on the, I think you can see that. I turned off my monitor here because it's got a really loud fan on it. But Live Ops is a company that provides work from home call center services for major companies around the country. And they pay you by the minute as opposed to by the hour. So if you're on the call on the phones all day for 8 hours, let's say, but you only take calls for 4 hours, then you only get paid for 4 hours of time at anywhere from 25 to like 45 cents a minute. And I'm doing a video about that because they're live long and prosper. I don't even know if my picture-in-picture works. I don't think it works. Am I on there in my picture-in-picture? Maybe I am. Yeah, I am on there now. Let's see, where do I want to be? Put me down here. There I am. Live long and prosper. And so I'm doing that, and I'm working on that video today. And you're a contractor. You're not paid by the company by the hour. There's no benefits, no 401k. You're a contract 1099 position. So this is a company that's taking the cheapest way possible to open up a call center by hiring a bunch of contractors to work from home. So you can set up from home. You have to have a PC. You can't do it on a Mac. And, from the research I did on it, it says you can make it anywhere from about $8 to $14 an hour because you're not always taking calls. So has anybody out there ever worked for Live Ops? I'm thinking of, I don't have a PC. I haven't used a PC in almost 20 years. My wife's got them for her job. She works from home. I've got a PC here that is like 15 years old. It's an old Lenovo. Godling, it's got Windows 7 on it, and but the processor is probably like an abacus and a mouse and a hamster wheel or something like that. I don't know. Here, let's get back over. Oh, it's going to take me off here. Oh, it did go off. Okay. We're back. Yeah, I got my monitor down here. If you see me looking down here to the left, let's see if anybody's saying anything down here. Hold on there, people. Oh, there's the, where'd it go? Where'd the comments go, man? I don't know what happened to the comment section. I lost the comments here. Restore chat. Okay, no new messages. But yeah, it can suck when people call you. I mean, I had people say nasty things to me, but I was pretty chill about it because nobody ever got under my skin. The first time I worked for a really big call center, I forgot about this experience. I don't think I've ever told everybody about this. I'll make a video about this if I think of it. Chase Bank used to be Bank One. And I don't remember, Chase must be in National. I don't remember now, but Bank One, when I first moved to Arizona, when my wife and I first moved to Arizona, and we were just about to get married. This is 2004. I moved out there in November and started working for Chase Bank. And I was in a call center. I think this is my first. Yeah, this is my first really big call center. I don't know why I've never talked about this. And I may have talked about it, but anyway, it was a huge call center. It was probably at least a 500-man call center. And we had this training class of 30 people. Yeah, I think I told you about this. There was this one woman that came in dressed one day. This gorgeous woman in my class. She was Hawaiian. She was Hawaiian and like Native American. And she had these beautiful eyes and this dark hair. But this woman was like batshit crazy. I mean, she was just out there. And so one day she came waltzing into the room in a long white gown, like some type of vintage wedding dress. Kid you not, into our training class. And I'm like looking at her, I'm like, what is she doing, you know? And so I go out in the atrium on break and talking to her, and she was like, she had this napkin and she kept twisting it and twisting it. And she's like, oh my God, so stressful here, so stressful in training. I can handle it. You know, I think I need to start smoking again. She said, I need a cigarette so bad, but I'm not gonna do it now. And we were talking. I was trying to make conversation with her because she was so bizarre. It was like, you know, I've got to find out what this person's all about, kind of thing. And she was really into like philosophy, like why are we here? What's life all about? That kind of thing. We had these really deep discussions about life and are relationships real? Are people real? Is any of this real? Is the, you know, that kind of thing. And we kind of became friends, believe it or not. We just kind of kept running into each other in the valley, which is really hard to do because the valley out in Phoenix, excuse me, there's 5 million people that live in the valley. And so we got through training, and training was about 3 weeks, and we got on the floor and I never saw her again. So then one day I'm over, where did I see her next? Oh, I was, so we worked at Chase, which was up in the North Valley. It was off the 17. I'm pretty sure that's where it was. It was in North Phoenix. And I lived in the Southeast Valley, near Gilbert, Arizona, Gilbert and Chandler. And so we go down there, and I used to shop at a GNC. I don't know if GNC is still in business, but it's a, you know, place to buy vitamins and supplements. And I went in there, and there she is. She's working behind the cash register. I'm like, hey, what's going on? She said, oh, hey, I remember you. And I'm like, so she seemed kind of shocked to see me. It was really weird. It was almost like she was embarrassed or something. Like, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. She's like, oh, I know. You know, I need a job. So I went back in there a couple weeks later, and she was gone. They said she had quit. So then I'm on, I don't know what I was doing. I think it was on Facebook. I think I used to follow the local police departments on Facebook, you know, for Phoenix police. And there she was on a wanted poster for breaking and entering and robbing somebody's house. And there she was they had security cameras in their house. This is probably, I mean, we've been back 11 years. So this is probably 14 years ago, something like that. Clear as day, it was her, but her hair had been cut. She used to have really long, like Hawaii. She was a beautiful woman, just absolutely drop dead good looking, but she was, you know, the cheese slid off her cracker years before I met her. And so she was on this wanted poster for breaking and entering. They had video of her coming in the house and going through somebody's video game. She lifted their video game out of their living room. And so she must have gotten caught or something, because I never saw her again. I don't know why I kept running into her. It was like karma. It's like there's a couple other times I ran into her. I think she was actually at the Verizon call center for about 2 minutes, and then she quit. It was really weird. And then, you know, we were friends on Facebook and all that stuff. And then she just disappeared. So she must have been in the Who's Gal or something like that. So who did we get on here tonight? I don't know if anybody's even on here anymore. Is anybody watching? I've got my, I can show you the screen I'm looking at here. Analytics, let's look at my analytics. Concurrent viewers, views, viewer activity, stream health, shopping. Well, it says I'm live. Maybe I'm not in the right place. Are you watching, Meg? If anybody's out there watching, let me know, because I don't know if I'm even broadcasting. I don't know. Let me look over here. PTPOP. Go to my channel, see what's showing. One waiting. Well, I don't know who's watching what with me. It says one waiting. Why is one waiting? I'm live. I think I'm live. Hey, Meg? Meg? Am I still on? I might have stopped streaming, guys. I don't know. You can see me? All right. Does it show anybody's watching? Well, I am sending my streaming software to you. It says 2 viewers waiting. Hey, Meg? What did you click on? Did you click on the one that had this thumbnail? Am I still on?
I don't know.
Did you click on? Because when I click on this one thumbnail for live, I might have stopped streaming, guys. I don't know. I guess I'm there.
Yeah.
Let me see. What does it say? Live September 24th at 8 p.m. call. No, Jesus.
It's the wrong day.
I picked the wrong day.
Yeah, but there are people watching.
Well, I guess I clicked on the wrong stream, guys. I have one set up for next Wednesday already about working at call centers.
Yeah, you have like comments from TRG.
Yeah, I see their comments.
Yeah.
Does it show anybody's watching? Oh yeah, okay. Oh, TRG, hi.
Yeah, TRG says.
We're on the other live. There's another live. Okay, so what did I do here? I must have gone live from the wrong place. So they're watching from the other live?
She says, TRG says, scroll up the chat. We have messages waiting for you.
What is it in the other screen or on this screen?
I don't know.
I don't know. How did I do this? Upcoming. What did you click on? Did you click on the one that had this thumbnail? Yeah, it's like a dope. Because when I click on this one thumbnail for live. Well, let's do this. Let's get out of here. Oh, I went on the wrong one. I streamed on the wrong one. Well, I guess I clicked on the wrong stream, guys. I have one set up for next Wednesday already about work. Yeah, I see their comments. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, TRG, hi. It's like a dope. Yeah, it says I'm live again. It keeps grabbing the stream from the 24th. Oh, I went on the wrong one. I streamed the wrong one.
TRG has a question for you.
Okay, let me go back to the, I guess I'm on the wrong one. Okay. All right, I'm back, guys. I don't know. I've got streaming software here, and I clicked on the wrong day. I clicked on the one for next week. Oh, there I am.
TRG has questions.
TRG. Okay, sorry, TRG. Let's see here. Let me open this. Oh yeah, a wedding dress. The woman was wearing a wedding dress in training class. I'm all set, Meg. Thank you. Sorry, I screwed up the stream. I somehow, when I have to hit, I've got this streaming device here, and when I hit on air, it grabbed next week's stream. I don't know, whatever. Let's see here, PTPOP. Oh, this bank job involves customers who rely on credit cards. They vary from mental, physical ability, or terminal illness, etc. It's tough. I'm not used to it. It's not like your everyday customers. Oh, wow. So you get calls from people that are mentally struggling. Wow, that's got to be hard. I mean, I've gotten calls from people that you can tell there's something wrong with them, and it takes a lot of patience to try to understand what they're talking about. Crazy homebody girl. Hey there, how's it going, homebody? TRG, can you see the chat? Scroll up to read my message if... I'm doing training for this bank. Oh, you're a trainer. Or no, I'm sorry, you're doing the training. Okay. How long is the training? How many calls is your talk time longer than usual with that kind of clientele? Can you see the chat? Scroll up. I think I found all the chats. Sounds like freelance. Yeah, the what is it called? Live ops. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's freelance type of work. It's just basically your contract, your 1099. What else did everybody else say? Wedding dress. Crazy homebody girl. Yeah, she wore a wedding dress into class, and it really, nobody else would. I don't think anybody else even talked to her. I was the only one. I should have been a reporter. I should have been a journalist or something, because I'm willing to go up to people and go, "Hey, why is your hair purple?" Yeah, I can see you now. Yeah, YouTube is confusing, but honestly, it's not as confusing as some of the other places. Like Rumble, I think you have to use OBS to stream on there. I don't think I can use this device to stream on there. And I hate OBS. I can't stand OBS. There's other people that live by it, but it's very confusing and non-intuitive. Let's see here. Camrose Media says at my security call center, the customers buy and sign up for equipment, then never learn how to use it or what the monitoring team actually does. Got told to suck it. Oh, okay. I didn't see that part of the message. Yeah, it's awful when people are crappy with you. It really is. It's really terrible. And there's no need to be that mean. Like anytime I talk to people now, I'm trying to change my attitude and not getting upset. Like these glasses that I wear here, we bought them at Costco because they had a good deal on frames, and we're members of Costco. And these frames have fallen apart like 4 times, and they're not even a year old yet. The lenses fall out, and the arm fell off. So I've been in 4 times, and 2 times ago I went in, and I was really upset, but I was not showing it. And there was a young man behind the counter, and he just looked at the glasses. Well, we don't, we don't do anything about this. We don't do, no refunds, dude. He was basically about, as bright as a bag of potatoes. And the optometrist that works there is a friend of the family. And he said, so my wife and I went back in this last Saturday. And my wife got new glasses. And I'm talking to the lady up front, and I said, these are falling apart. And she goes, yeah, I see all the notations in here. I said, does it help at all that, the optometrist is a friend of the family? She goes, oh, it might. Once you call back, call and ask for the manager and see what you can do for you. So I got a hold of the manager today, and she agreed to give me the full refund for these frames because she looked in the system and saw that these frames are basically on recall. They don't sell them anymore, and they're like have a negative 24 in the inventory list, which means I think they've been recalled. So I'm getting new frames, but the deal she worked out with me was, we'll give you a refund if you buy new frames from us, which, I'll do it. Let's see, TRG says, yeah, this role involves longer talk time, more flexibility, and the bankroll, inbound, outbound, and dealing with emails. Well, that sounds like the day would go by fast, because if you're doing all that at once, time must fly. That's got to be good, especially if they giving more talk time. Mostly vulnerable customers. I don't have any experience dealing with customers like that on a regular basis. Every now and then you get somebody on the phone that you can tell there's something wrong with them. I'm trying to be polite about it. I mean, you can tell somebody either has had a stroke or they have a speech impediment, or, and you're sitting there, you just close your eyes and you try to focus on what they're saying and figure out what the hell they want. It's very hard. Only thing I can say is just be patient. Just be patient. I hate to be PC, but try to be empathetic. Try to think about how hard it is for them to communicate, and try to just wade through the words. Listen for certain cues or words that will tell you what they're looking for, like bill, or I don't know, phone, and it doesn't work, or things that you try to listen for common things you'd hear from other customers. Let's see, cameras, media says time, any job you had was rewarding. Rewarding, let me think. Well, I had a job with a company called MCI WorldCom back in 2000 and 2001. And it was my first really good paying gig. I was making about $72,000 a year my first year. My second year, I was on course to make $100,000. And I felt it was rewarding because I was actually kind of a liaison between chief information officers in our company, and they would call me when their circuits weren't working correctly. And at first, it was very rewarding because I felt really proud of myself that I had worked my way up through telecom. I had done local, I had done long distance, I had done cellular. Then this was the data position. And I felt really good because I am sitting across the table from the chief information officer for Sherwin-Williams here in Cleveland, or the chief information officer for Eaton Corporation, or for TRW, or who else did I meet with? Diebold, that makes all the ATM machines, or they used to make them. I don't know if they're still in business. And that was rewarding in a sense that I actually had worked my way up, but unfortunately the company was cooking the books. A gentleman by the name of Bernie Ebbers was the CEO of WorldCom, CEO and president, I think. And he got sent up the river. I think he died in prison. And I lost my job. I got laid off on November 11th, 2001, the month to the day of September 11th. It was, and then honestly, I had one of my first call center jobs was with a company called GTE Wireless. And I started off in the call center. I had a rough time because it was actually my first big call center, but it wasn't really big. It wasn't as big as Chase. It was maybe a 200-man, 150-man call center, 150 person. And I liked that job because I struggled at first. Then I had a friend named Robin on the floor who had been there a while who helped me navigate the computer screens because the trainer wasn't about to help me and my supervisor was of no help. And this wonderful woman named Robin helped me, and I worked my way. I got a couple of different promotions internally there. I went from the call center into marketing. I worked in marketing for about a year, and then from marketing I transferred over into quality assurance and security, where we investigated cellular fraud. It was a cellular telephone company, so those were both rewarding. I think the best job I ever had, though I didn't know it at the time, was my factory job. You know, you could go in, work the line for 8 hours, go home and forget about it. And people liked me. I had friends there. We went out for beers. I'm still friends with my friend James from it was a company called General Bookbinding. Let's see here. Anime Song says all these Walmart customers want refunds without returning. Oh, really? How do you get a refund without returning the item? That doesn't make any sense. People are crazy today. People want something for nothing. I think those are probably desperate people that need money, and they're just, they're hurting. I think. I don't know. TRG says, yeah, sometimes they're crying during the call, emotionally tough. I will try to be as empathic, as understanding as I can. Oh, wow. So these are people that they probably know they're in bad shape and they can't communicate. I don't know. It's got to be rough. Do you get many of those people yelling at you and cursing at you? I wouldn't think you would, but who knows? So if you tune in to me next week, I'm actually logged into the September 24th broadcast call centers, our modern day sweatshops. But it's supposed to be just kind of a free-for-all tonight, so ask whatever you want. I mean, I really just kind of spitballing here. And so I thought it'd be just a good way for us to talk and get to know each other, because I'm kind of behind the camera, and some of the people I recently talked to, one guy, and I forgot to respond, but he wrote to me from India. And I'm still thinking about doing this documentary about call centers. I got to get some people in this movie. I don't have anybody. Well, I should get Kevin. If you're watching, I don't know if Kevin, you're out there. You said you'd be in it. I've got a friend named Kevin who's got like a twin brother, and I thought they'd look great on camera together as twins, talking. Both worked in call centers, but his brother's not interested. I'm like, darn it. But Kevin, I'm still interested in you, dude. I kind of put the whole call center thing on a back burner. TRG says, I was shadowing someone today, listening to their calls. They don't seem happy with their role. Very pessimistic and unfriendly agents. Yeah, that's odd, because usually they have you shadow with people that are very corporate. Like, hey, everybody, is everybody excited to be here? Are you so glad to be working here? Oh, these calls are so easy. What do I do with the Oingo Boingo? I think I stuck. Oingo, are you over there? I think he's over there. But yeah, that's, usually people don't show their real, they don't show their cards. They keep their cards close to the vest when you sit next to them. They want to appear. And usually the people they sit you with, I think, are handpicked, because they know that those people aren't going to complain and they're not going to say anything bad. Or I swear, every time I was shadowed with somebody before I got on the phones, I always sat with somebody that got these like really easy calls. Like, hi, can I have my balance? Oh, gee, thanks. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. You have a good day. Hi. Can I update my address? Real easy stuff. Customers more on the vulnerable side, not irate, angry customers. I think they're relying on a credit card is unethical. Oh, that's true. Yeah, they're probably taking advantage of some of these people. Need it for survival. Good thing is they suspend the internet. What do you mean? Oh, so these people don't have access to the internet? Anime songs, you get abused, they're racist. So were they on recording being racist to you? I mean, they've got to be able to pull those calls. And if somebody's overtly abusing you from a racial perspective, they should be able to shut their customer's account down and get rid of them. Let's see here. Crazy home buddy girl. My training buddies were not corporate at all. I appreciate that. They warned me the place was trash. That's cool. That was the worst job I ever had. Jason Fox. Oh, you did call centers for lawnmowers. Okay, so you're talking to Crazy Home Buddy Girl. Call center, pre-pandemic. Did you work are you from Ohio? Jason Fox? Because I worked in a call center that made lawnmowers here in Ohio. And it was horrible. I quit after like 3 days. I know these aren't directed at me, but Jay says, I think you're in Seoul, South Korea. You're a Norwegian guy in Seoul, South Korea. I think if I understand that. Wow. Oh, interest rate. I read it as the internet. They lower it to 1%. Did I read that right? Wow, 1%. That's amazing. Let's see here. Anime Song says, my company doesn't care. They say customer's always right, so I left. Yeah, I've been in places like that where you can't win. And if somebody calls you a pickle sucker or whatever, says your mother smells of elderberries, you have to just take it. And I've worked in places where you're absolutely not allowed to disconnect the call no matter what's said to you. That's abuse. I don't understand that. And there's no regulations on these call centers. Well, that's good. They let you hang up. Okay. Crazy home buddy girl. Oh, Jason's in Maine. Okay. Last call center. See, Jason's last call center I worked. Most workers were ex-cons and drug addicts. Yeah, there's some call centers that are like that. I worked in one here in Cleveland back in 2003 because it was for DirecTV and what's it called? Air. You know, the satellite companies, the satellite dish companies. There's two. I can't think of the other one. There's DirecTV and I don't know what it's called, the other one. And it was like in Garfield Heights, Ohio, in like this old abandoned like warehouse district. And you drove in and it was in this old like run down like I guess a single story warehouse is all I could call it. And as you walked in, it was just filled with cigarette smoke. This is back in 2003 and people still smoked. Well, back then you're not allowed to smoke in buildings, but it was run by like these Iranian or Pakistani guys. They were real shitty guys. Not because they're Iranian, but they were, you know, a lot of the Middle Eastern guys smoke like chimneys. And these guys always had a cigarette dangling from their lips. And it was a real it was like a sales job, and it paid like $6 an hour or something, and it was real shady. And I quit that one after like 3 days. It was horrible. Last call center. But I'm sure there were ex-cons in there. I'm sure there were some real shady people in there. Oh, you did. Husqvarna and Weed Whacker. Okay. Okay. Cameros Media says the best call center advice you mentioned is partnering up with someone who has been there a while, someone who can tell you the real inside scoop of a workplace. Yeah, if you can find somebody who's willing to talk with you, if you can find somebody who you can befriend, that's what I did at Wells Fargo. I found this woman. She was the best sales rep on the floor. And I want to see how she did it. I said, I want, of course, in sales, people don't want to give up their tricks. They don't want to give up their secrets. But she sat down with me, and she was kind enough to show me a few things, and it helped me improve my numbers a great deal. That was a blessing, a huge blessing. But most people are very tight-lipped. Or, you know, what I've discovered is people just don't talk to you. I made a couple friends over the years. I think the last time I made any friends in a call center was at Wells Fargo. I don't know if Mark's still out there. There's a guy named Mark who became a trainer, and he and I played guitar together a couple of times. We played out in Phoenix. I've lost track of him over the years. I don't know, Mark, if you're out there, drop me a line. He's a very talented guy. He was really cool. Let's see, TRG says, the agent I was shadowing was very honest, not corporate, like somewhat pessimistic, but he was very critical of the workplace and colleague behaviors. Some agents put themselves on, not ready to skip queue. Yeah, I have to give you some advice there. Be very careful with the people that are pessimistic around you, because sometimes, well, I worked at a place here in Cleveland called CFNA, which is a credit card company, and they worked with like Goodyear or Firestone garages where people would take their cars in for repair, and people would come in and they'd blow a transmission, and they needed like $5,000 to get the transmission repaired, and they couldn't afford it. They didn't have any money in the account, and they didn't have any, you know, their credit cards are maxed out, so they would call in to get these people approved for like a credit card for the full amount of the repairs at like 30% interest. And so my job was to call, you know, run credit on these people, get them approved, yay or nay. And, you know, you're just getting a call from the garage, from the Firestone garage. Well, there were two ladies that sat behind me, these old broads, these old fat broads, and they were real friendly, you know, which I thought was strange, you know. And they were very friendly, and they kept saying, "Oh, how do you like working here?" And I'd be like, "Well, it's all right." You know, I started to complain a little bit, and soon after I worked there, I was doing really good. I'd already been approved for a raise, and I was supposed to get a bonus, but my supervisor was friendly with these ladies, and I think they had said something to them that I was bitching about the job, because she came up to me and said, "Well, you got the alphanumeric alphabet wrong. You got the Alpha, Bravo, Delta, Charlie, whatever is that called, the alphanumeric alphabet? They use it in the military. You're doing it wrong, so we're not going to give you your bonus." So be very careful. Just nod, shake your head. Don't let them bait you into a discussion about how much you hate the job. Don't just go, "Okay, I'm sorry to hear that," and just keep your mouth shut, because they'll run. As sure as my name is Pete, they will run to the supervisor and say, "Hey, this new guy, TRG, he's saying the company sucks." And they're going to get you. They're going to get you blackballed. Oh, let's see here. Jason Fox says, every summer when we ramped up hiring lots of students, I witnessed many mental breakdowns. from the new agents. Many could not take the stress of being yelled at by angry customers and being put on report. Yeah. It's a meat grinder atmosphere. It's horrible. Yeah, I saw it a lot too. I can't remember which call center, but they always hire the college kids in. The guys and the gals that are home on break. But Verizon was the worst. Verizon, I've told this story 1,000 times, the paramedics were there at least once a month, carrying people out. The stress is unbelievable. Let's see here. I have issues with agents working there. I love them. Okay. I was referring with work colleague. Okay. I was referring with work colleagues. TRG says, how can you befriend someone who doesn't want to be helpful? They're tight-lipped, just as you described. Yeah, I always thought that too. I thought we're in this together. They always talk about teamwork in these call centers. And then when you try to get teamwork out of them, nobody wants to help you. Like my first big call center, GT Wireless, that woman named Robin. To this day, I'm forever grateful to her, but she's very rare. I mean, I don't think I've seen that very much in any call center. Most people just want to come in, do their job, go home. They don't care who you are, because it's just like I said, it's just like the Army or the Marines. The drill instructor is, just before, D-Day, you're about to hit the beach, he's going to say, look to your left, look to your right. Chances are one of you is not coming back. And that's what it's like in a call center. You don't want to get close to anyone because they're just going to be gone. Let's see here. Crazy home buddy girl. I see a therapist for stress management for my call center job. It's a lot. It has saved me mental breakdowns and crash outs. Sick leave, vacation. Yeah, I've done that too. When I was in Phoenix, I was in therapy for this. I had a really good counselor. He said he counsels other people. He said it's a really stressful job. I don't remember him really helping me. Anime songs like no racism, but black people are awful to talk to, and most of yeah. I agree. And this is meant to be racist, but it's true. This is what I experienced, especially with black women. They call up and they're just so sweet. They're like, "Hi there, sugar. Are you having a blessed day?" And every time I heard that, I knew I was about to have my balls ripped off through the phone. Because after I said, "Yeah, I'm having a fine day," that's when they went off. And they just go berserk on you. The other people that I find are really horrible on the phones are people from Texas. When I was at Wells Fargo, the men that called from Texas were stubborn SOBs. Because they're from Texas. I said, boy, aren't you listening? I need myself a home equity line of credit, no matter what. What did my credit score got to do with it? Let's see, I find all races to be abusive. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right, Crazy Home Buddy. I mean, like the worst people I've talked to, and most people I've talked to on the phones are white. And most of the people that have done me wrong in life are white as the driven snow, and my own family members. I honestly don't have any problems. I've never had any problems with black people. Not ever. No, I'm knocking wood. But white folks are the most abusive on the phones and the most abusive, deceitful people I've ever met in my regular life. Cameras Media says, I've seen the paramedics twice in my office. One guy got sick in his chair. The other, a guy who had epilepsy, fell and hit his head on the sink in the bathroom. Yeah, it's awful. My wife has epilepsy. She just got it a couple of years ago. It's horrific. Let's see here. MSGL or MSG Lemon says, I saw your channel the day before I started working at the call center. I hope that's a good thing. Did it help you? Has it helped you at all? I've gotten yelled at by Asians and Middle Easterns. Oh, yeah. It's all going to be taken out of context, but Middle Eastern men, I think it's part of their culture. At least that's what I try to convince myself, because I remember one time I drove down to my college alma mater for a weekend to see my brother, because he lives in that town where I went to school. This is years ago. This is like 20 years ago or something. And I don't know. I hadn't rented a hotel room or a motel room in like years. So I walk in and the guy's Iranian or something behind the desk. He's the manager. Just a little motel. And I'd booked the room over the phone. This is before the internet. And I go up to the desk and he goes, okay, here's your room. Your room is 305. Okay, it's going to be $125. I'm like, $125? I thought it'd be like $50. $50? What do you mean? $50? Are you kidding me? What are you telling me? Hey, he's getting all mad at me. I'm like, hey, dude, calm down. Hey, whatever it is, what it is. He go, where did you get the idea of $50? It was just like something out of Seinfeld. It was like the soup Nazi or something. He almost told me not. I was getting ready for him to say, if you don't want the room, don't take the room. It's a whole different mindset. Hey, my monitor just died. Let's see here. TRG says, I'm sorry, let me go up here. I've gotten yelled at, but yeah. Kim Rosmini says, Massachusetts, Rhode Island people. You're giving me flashbacks. I forgot about the East Coast people. Especially people from New York, New Jersey, New York. Hey there, swizzle sticks. What's going on today? Yeah, you get all those fast talkers from the East Coast. They can be a-holes too. Everyone's an a-hole. It doesn't matter where you're from in this country, especially now. God help all of you that are on the phones today. Even the emergency dispatchers, they hang up before you. Oh, really? Yeah. TRG says, I avoided. Okay. Most of it. Yeah. Like I said, there's a certain attitude certain groups of people have that I don't understand it. And I'll just leave it at that. Arizona and Nevada, I believe that. I lived in Arizona for like 10 years, and the people that live out there are awful. Awful people. I'll give you an example, and I've told this story before. I'm driving to work one day on the 10. I'm headed to Wells Fargo, and the traffic is backed up on the 10, and I was listening to a station out there. I think it's 5:50 a.m., which I think at the time was a sports station, or it was a talk station. And the report in the radio was that a guy in like one of those crotch rockets had crashed, and he was blocking like the passing lanes because his bike was down and he was dying in one of the lanes, and the paramedics were there, and people were calling the radio station complaining that this guy was dying in the middle of the road and making them late for work. That's what the DJ said, or the talk show host, or whatever it was. He's like, people are calling in complaining because this guy's dying on the road. And this DJ was from Cleveland. He's originally from Cleveland. I remember him from like 98.5 WNCX or something like that here in Cleveland. People out there are just awful. We'll see here. We got anime songs. I told a customer you were not in charge. Let's see here. I told a customer you were not charged. She said I was. I told her you. So they called them in the bank, said she was not in charge by Walmart. Okay, I don't know what you mean there, but it sounds like somebody thinks they were charged with something, but they weren't. Camera says, I hate when we have required scripts and people talk over you. Oh yeah, that was what it was at Dial America. You had to read straight from a script, and they said if you don't, legal will get on them. And there's all these legal reasons why they wanted scripts read, and if you miss one word in a script, they'd pull you aside. It was horrible. The Dial America was the dregs of call centers. It was horrible. MSGL Lemon, what do you think about security guard job? I don't have any. I thought it might be a cool thing to have, maybe like a night watchman or something in a warehouse. But I actually applied for a security job at the Cleveland Museum of Art, but they wanted me to know CPR, and I haven't had CPR training since like 7th grade, which was almost 50 years ago now. And I thought about it. I thought, oh, I never thought about that. If somebody drops dead in front of me, I got to do CPR. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't really want to do it. Not that I don't want to help people. I just don't want to get sick from putting my mouth on theirs. I don't think you have to do that anymore. I think you just have to do chest compressions now. But what is that? I hear something. I think Meg turned on TV set. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. Wow, I didn't know it was that late. I'm having so much fun here. I forgot how late it was. All right, guys. I appreciate you more than you know for tuning in tonight and watching. If you have any other comments, leave a comment here. I'm going to log off because I didn't realize it was 9 o'clock. We've been on for like an hour. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have other ideas, things you want to talk about, next week was supposed to be the call center thing, and then, I'll come up with something. But every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, I should be on here talking to all of you. Hope you have a great night, and I hope you had fun here tonight. What's this? Best part is when customers say, can you connect me to someone in America because you cannot speak or understand English? I haven't had that, but I can imagine if you have the least bit of an accent, people think you're not from this country. Well, we're not going to go down that road. All right. Hey, Jason, good night, guys. I'll see you all later. Bye.